Sartelius Euplus, who was a Roman official and whose name appears in inscriptions associated with public works and religious dedications during the Roman Empire. Now, this is where I'm going to start out with, but we are going to go into different areas and discuss different things. These are my talking points, so I'm going to get on with it. So we have Cartelius Euplus, okay? And like I said, he was a Roman official whose name appeared in inscriptions associated with public works and religious dedications during the Roman Empire. Though not widely known or heavily documented in primary sources, he is most notably referenced in an inscription related to the Magna Martyr cult, who he is recorded as having donated a gift, likely a structure or offering in honor of the goddess. Now, this act would have been demonstrated in pietas, the Roman virtue of religion or religious and civil or civic duty, which was particularly emphasized in public dedications to state-recognized deities. Cartelius Euplus's gift may have been part of a broader patronage activity that linked wealthy or political ambitious individuals to the promotion of imperial cults or long-standing traditional Roman religious practices. Now, Magna Carta, or Great Mother, refers to the goddess Cybele, whose worship was originally Phrygian but was incorporated into Roman religion in the 3rd century BCE. Her rituals and cult practices were known for their intense and often ecstatic character, contrasting with more restrained and formal rites of traditional Roman worship. Magna Martyr rituals included procession, music with cymbals and drums, ecstatic dancing, and, in some cases, acts of self-mutilation performed by her priests, the Galli. Now, these eunuch priests underwent rituals which consist of ritual castration, and it was as a part of their devotion, imitating the myth of Attis, a consort of Cybele, who is believed to have castrated himself in a frenzy of divine madness. The rituals surrounding Magna Marta were particularly prominent during the festival of Magalesia, celebrated in April. During this festival, the sacred black stone representing the goddess was paraded through the streets, and dramatic performances and sacrifices were conducted. While the rituals were respected by the state and integrated into Roman religious life, there was a clear distinction between the public ceremonies accepted by Roman society and the more private, ecstatic elements of the cult, which were sometimes regarded as suspicious or distaste by the Roman elite. Cartelius Euplus, or Cartelius Euplus's donations to the Magna Marta cult would have aligned him with a recognized and important deity whose worship symbolized Rome's connection to ancient Eastern traditions and divine favor. It would also have reinforced his standing in the community as a person of influence and religious commitment. Though specific details of his gift are scarce, such deductions were typically inscribed on altars, columns, or temples and served both as religious offerings and as a public monument to the donor's piety and status. The Magna Mater, or Great Goddess, was worshipped at Ostia, the ancient port city of Rome, as part of a religious tradition that extended from the city's deep ties to both Roman state cults and foreign deities. Known originally as the Phrygian goddess Cybele, the Magna Marta was officially brought into Roman religious practice in 204 BCE, and her cult quickly became widespread across the empire, particularly in cosmopolitan and mercantile centers like Ostia. In Ostia, the cult of the Magna Marta was housed in a sanctuary that reflected both Roman architectural sensibility and Eastern religious practices. Excavations have revealed a temple complex in the city dedicated to her, which included a shrine and altar. Often positioned near or within a larger complex that also featured dedications to Attis, her consort. The presence of Magna Marta in Ostia underscores the city's role as a hub for religious syncretism, where Roman citizens, freemen, and immigrants from across the empire could participate in diverse forms of worship. The temple was located in the campus of Magna Marta, and archaeological remains include inscriptions, statutory, and ritual implements associated with her ceremonies. The rituals performed in her honor at Ostia followed the same general pattern found throughout the empire. These included possessions, offerings, music, and aesthetic performances by the Galli, who were eunuch priests serving the goddess. Public festivals such as the Magalisa were celebrated there as well, featuring theatrical performances and ceremonial feasts. While some of these rites were public and state-sanctioned, others, particularly those involving self-mutilation or mortification or frenzied devotion, were carried out in private or semi-public settings, and may have been viewed with a mixture of reverence and suspicion by traditional Roman elites. The iconography found in the Ostian sanctuary, including reliefs and statues, often depicts the Magna Marta enthroned and flanked by lions, a common symbol of her power and untamed nature. These artistic elements, along with epigraphic evidence of personal dedications, indicate a vibrant and active cult that appealed to a wide range of social classes in Ostia. The worship of the Magna Marta at Ostia exemplifies the blend of Eastern and Roman religious elements and highlights the city's importance as a religious as well as economic gateway to Rome. Pietas, often rendered simply as piety in English, was one central virtue in ancient Roman society, encompassing a complex set of obligations and attitudes towards the gods, one's family, and the state. Unlike the modern use of the word piety, which often refers primarily to religious devotion, pietas in Roman thought was broader and more comprehensive. It described a dutiful respect and a sense of responsibility, not only to the divine, but also to parents, ancestors, and Rome itself. In the religious context, pietas meant honoring the gods through proper rituals, sacrifices, and observances of festivals. A person with pietas was expected to maintain the tradition of Roman worship, perform sacrifices correctly, and consult oracles or auguries when appropriate. This virtue was not optional, but a deeply ingrained cultural expectation. Neglecting pietas could be seen as threatening the social and cosmic order. Within the family, pietas involved respecting one's elders, caring for parents in old age, maintaining the memory of the ancestors, and fulfilling family obligations. Filial piety, loyalty and duty to one's father and family line, was considered a cornerstone of Roman morality. In literature, characters who exhibited pietas were often held up as moral exemplars. A notable case is the hero Aeneas in Virgil's Aeneid, Aeneid, who was frequently described as pious Aeneas, which I have a hard time with because I want to say anus, highlighting his commitment to duty over personal desires. Political and socially, pietas extended to fulfilling civic responsibilities, defending the state, and serving in public office with integrity. A Roman citizen who displayed pietas would be seen as upholding the republic or the empire by contributing to its stability and prosperity. In this way, the concept unified private, public, and divine spheres under the same single moral idea. Pietas was also deified and personified in Roman religion. Temples and statues were erected in her honor, and emperors would often emphasize their own pietas in inscriptions and coins to promote their legitimacy and connection to Roman tradition. For example, coins from the imperial period sometimes depicted pietas as a woman offering incense at an altar, symbolizing devotion and duty. Overall, pietas served as one of the foundational values of Roman identity,